What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Vampy Book Club. You guys know I can't get this started without one of my main men or two of my main men. I don't know how many I'm gonna get this week, but I think I have one of them. I got at least B.
Yo, what's going down, everybody? I'm back once again for Vampy Book Club. See what happens this time.
Yeah, some interesting stuff, some Romeo and Juliet type stuff, and some fun shenanigans. All I gotta say. And Howard Shakin has something to do with it. Howard Shakin and Gonzalo Mayo. But before we get into this nice mess of a book or whatever we would like to say, let's get into. All right, B. I found it on Heritage this time. I actually found some stuff on Heritage this time. So it got sold in 2017. The original painting got sold in 2017. It has a little bit of sun damage and a little bit of wear and tear. So what do you think it went for?
Original cover of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2017, got a little bit more higher price there. I like it. It almost looks like a dang photo cover to me, but you did such a great job on it. I'd say $8,000.
$8,000. Pretty close. Well, I wonder what we got. Well, if anybody else wants to chime in, chime in at the. But I found it and it went for this.
Oh wow, 12,005, almost $13,000.
Yep.
Nice.
And then the other thing I posted for Friday was, did you guys notice a difference in between the cover and the original painting? So there are some differences in between this, because come to find out, the publish the what was it? Not the publisher, but the guy that foresee looks over the thing. I forget what the guys what they're
Editor?
called. Yeah,
Editor?
that editor. So the editor had stuff moved. So I don't understand how they moved it in the 70s, but if it was now, it'd be easy, because they would just cut her, like take a real digital picture and cut her out and switch her around. So I don't understand how they did it in the 70s, where they swap. So I did a bunch of circles of why they move stuff around. So pretty much why they moved her around is kind of common sense. We see one dead giveaway. Why? It's because all that lettering and all that wording right there, where I circled in red, they moved.
It would have covered her up. Yeah, it would have covered her up.
Yeah, and then
Her body at least.
Yeah, but where her hands are sitting, so the thing that says Warren and Vampy issue 51 would have been covering her hands. So that's probably why they moved it. And pretty much, if you're looking at this thing on the newsstand, you want to see her and you want to see everything, the whole picture, not just because if they left it like how St. Julian had it, you wouldn't have been able to see her, and people probably wouldn't have wanted to buy the book in the first place, because how that would have sat.
Yeah.
So
what it looks like to me is they just mirrored image it. So they just used the negative part of the image for our actual cover.
Right.
If you go back to the other one, it's just a flipped image as it's mirrored over.
Right.
So like if sometimes if you're recording on your phone, you don't have it mixed in, your t-shirt, is backwards. It says something backwards.
Right.
Because it's not mirrored image. That's what it looks like to me. Because even with the little the magic potion, the genie on the bottle right there, rubbing it, it's the same way. Everything's just flipped.
Right.
And I don't know why they wouldn't have just put the writing on the right side of it and kept it in its normal presentation and the original art that St. Julian did on this one. But I think I don't know, maybe they didn't have the money at the time and they already had all the writing and the trade dress ready to go. And so they just used the mirrored image on it.
Yeah, and then so they moved. Yeah, they like you said, they flipped it around. So they probably took the picture of it and just used the negative instead of using the actual picture. Yeah. So that's how they did it back in the 70s. Because I was wondering how they would have done it, because they don't got computers back then, so
Yeah.
how would they would have? That's a good
Definitely, yeah. That's my assumption of it. What they
yeah,
did to it.
that's a good eye, because I wouldn't have thought of that. But yeah, so I thought this was interesting, so that's why I actually made a thing and go, hey, what
Yeah,
do you guys notice notice a difference in between the original and into the that's the whole
exactly.
reason I do them, to
These little
see.
Easter eggs that you always find, and with the covers too.
Yeah,
This cover wasn't supposed to be for this one; it was supposed to be for this issue.
yeah,
And you find the history behind it,
yeah,
and that's why we're trying to bring information to
yeah,
our Vampirilla fans out there.
yeah. And then yeah, it's freaking funny because I'm like, and then so this piece sold, and then one piece sold in like early 2020s, I think. And it was the actual the printing part. It was actually like the negative of the cover, or printing uh a piece. It's pretty much, it looked like a copy of the cover, but it's not the cover, it's just the proof of the cover. So a copy
Interesting.
proof, yeah, a copy proof of the cover sold for like $100, so like 120, 125. So it would just it's pretty much looks like a photocopy of
It
the
kind of would have
cover.
been like an ash can of its day,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe,
yeah, yeah. It was just like a photo cover of the book
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny. But some another fun fact about this, this is the first time I've seen it in the issue.
I saw
Where
this.
So where they offered $500 on, because Dell bought Dell's told us where he's bought a whole run of each of these magazines.
Mhm.
But come to find out, they were actually fakes of this Erie.
Yeah.
They were fakes of the ash can. So, and James Warren was offering $500 on any type of information that you guys can find out about who printed the fake ones. So if you do end up getting one of these, it could be a fake issue, because there was only, I think it says in the thing is there's only 100 of them printed, or over 100 or something printed. So if you get one and it's not, you know it could be one of these counterfeits.
Yeah. That even makes it kind of more collectible too.
Yeah,
Getting one of the original run of 100,
yeah,
or finding one of these crazy knockoffs, dude. That's
right.
wild.
Yeah,
I
so I thought it
yeah,
was funny, like reading it.
me
I'm like,
too.
damn. I'm like, damn, there was a knockoff. I'm like,
I
dude, that
know.
would be a fun question if we could ever get Warren on here. That would be kind of fun to ask him how many people sent them information about this, for since he offered the money.
And it's so weird. He printed it in his magazine, freaking front page almost,
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
wild. Like,
Like 2 pages. So
yeah,
he was. I bet you anything, he was pretty fucking pissed.
he was
That's
pissed
why.
off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why he printed it. It was like, hey, if anybody knows any information on this, man, give me a heads up about who's doing this. But he doesn't tell him to send it to him so he can destroy him. It doesn't say nothing on. Like, I read the whole thing. It doesn't say nothing like, hey, send us that copy or whatever, and we'll destroy it or whatever, or nothing. It just says send us the copy. We'll send it back to you. I'm like, why would you send it back to them if you're telling them to send it to you to figure out who's doing it? I just
Yeah.
thought it was funny. I'm like, so that means there's a bunch of them out there that are counter. They could be like half of them are counterfeit and half of them are real. So it's gonna be hard to freaking tell. Because he didn't. I don't think he numbered them at all either. So that's interesting. That's gonna be interesting to figure out which ones are actual real ones and fake ones. But now we get into some letter pages, and then we get into the story of Vampirella and Rise of the Undead, written by our one of
Hit or
our
miss, I guess. Maybe,
hitter,
guys.
yeah, hit or miss guys, Flexman Low, Howard Shaken, and Gonzalo
Gonzalo
Mayo.
Mayo.
Well, if you guys recognize Howard Shaken's name, Howard Shaken has done the Star Wars for Marvel back in the 70s. And he was pretty much Neil Adams' apprentice. He was Wally Wood's apprentice before he got his big break. So that's kind of cool that, that he got involved with these guys. But this is not one of his first works. His first works was something with Wally Wood. like a Western story that he did with Wallywood. But it's interesting to see. I can't tell which which one Gonzalo did and which one he did. Which one uh um
Howard did.
yeah, I can't. I could kind of tell. I think I know which pages. I'm gonna guess which pages, but I think some of the other guys that are gonna watch are gonna know better than I would. So I'm at leave it in the chat or leave it down in the description. Leave it down in the description below and let us know which ones you think that Howard did and which ones Gonzalo did. Because I think the zombies. I like this page. I think it's is Howard.
Yeah, I think maybe the horse would be him too.
Yeah.
And then Mayo would be Vampy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because a lot of the Spanish guys do the females really really decently. So I'm thinking the background and all that stuff was Howard, or maybe this whole page is Howard, and like certain pages, or is this guy. So yeah, so we get into the story of them going to France.
They're on vacation again.
Yeah, they're on vacation again. Well, I would be leaving. I would be leaving New York after all the shenanigans that happened. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, especially after even what Conrad faked his own death and stuff and everything. It's like we have so much going on. It's like Pendragon, they need a vacation. I love how Pendragon's like they get on like a horse or something. It breaks down or whatever, so they have to walk to their location.
Well, the car breaks down. Yeah, the car breaks down. He goes, the car breaks down. She goes, and then, oh no, my favorite line is what he says to her. He goes, you wear something really scantily clad, but you sure have a lot of clothes for somebody that just.
You have a lot of luggage right here. He's carrying her luggage, 2 luggage. He's like, for you, what you wear, She's like, well, I got to be incognito here. And she's, but it's funny. It's like, for how much attire you wear, I'm carrying all this luggage. And he's so tired from carrying all this luggage. He's like, I can't wait to get to the bar. I know they got some whiskey sour over here. Let's go. Right. And but come to find out, there's something going on in this town, and it's like the town that dreaded sundown, dude. Really, I guess.
Right. Well, pretty much. It's I pretty much got like Romeo and Juliet type story in between the zombie story type deal. So that was kind of interesting. I thought it was funny. So we get to the pretty much the inn or the hotel or whatever it was, and I thought the name was funny, but I'm not gonna say it on here just in case it might the hang something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
So I thought the inn name was funny because of what happens later in the story. We find out, so that's why they honestly named the place that. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was funny. So yeah. So we get pretty much, they get to the bar pretty much like B was saying.
Yeah, no, Pendragon's super pissed off because he's hella thirsty.
Yeah,
and he's like, well, they're already closed down. He's like, well, we're gonna go unlock the door. We got to get out. He's like, you know what? There's got to be a place open up somewhere that has some booze. And so this because Pendragon's so thirsty and such a drunk, a lush, he has to get something after that long trip. That he's like, come on, Vampy, let's go find a damn bar that's open because there's got to be one open somewhere here in this godforsaken town that you drugged me to. And that's so funny because the whole reason now from what's going to happen forward is all because Pendragon wanted to go get some whiskey.
Yeah. And
that's so funny.
Yeah, I thought the other funniest thing is these two are the peas in the same pod because when she gets freaking bloodlusty, she gets pretty much the same way she does.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's kind of funny that they're just mirroring each other. Like he likes to drink, but
she does too. Well, she does too, but her preference is blood, and his is alcohol.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about that, but that does make sense now. Now we're talking about it. She's bloodthirsty for blood, and he's freaking wants his alcohol.
Yeah, pretty much. They're pretty much the same, same person. It's just he's a dude, but he's just an alcoholic, and she's
Yeah.
just a vampire that needs blood to live. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, and then we meet. Yeah, pretty much like before this panel here, we end up meeting the daughter. Freaking daughter's name is annoying as hell. I try to freaking remember it, but but
Yeah.
yeah. So
I kind of just like look past. I'm like, okay, the daughter's name. Oh, that's the daughter. And like instead of trying to like pronounce these people's names because a
yeah,
lot of them are French,
yeah.
I was just like, okay, this is the character, and
Or
I remember.
well, I'll make it easy for everybody. Our Juliet character, so she's pretty much Juliet
Yeah,
in
there
the
you
book.
go.
Yeah, so she's Juliet. We'll call her Juliet, and then we'll call the guy Romeo. So to make it easy for everybody, so we don't try to try to freaking figure out the name, how to say the name, because it's gonna take us at least a whole hour the hour of the show just to figure out how to say it. So, but I thought it was funny. But I think this page is shaken. I don't think this page is Gonzalo. I think this page, because the way the guy, how they drew Pendragon's face and Vampy's.
Yeah,
Because
I noticed that too.
yeah,
A little bit different,
a
more
little different.
detailed, but it is him. Like, oh, I can tell that's Pendragon for sure.
Right,
But it's more detailed, more close up.
right.
And yeah, Vampy's legs are a little bit different too. She's in a different attire as well. So like we're
Right.
normally used to seeing her in
Right.
her bikini pretty much. But yeah, I'd say this is definitely our Howard.
Yeah,
drawing
because
this one.
the way nothing against Gonzalo, but Gonzalo probably draws a little differently. Probably a little closer to in between Jose and himself. So in between, he normally that's how I differentiate them two. They're like each other, but a little different. But it's slightly. It's hard because it's hard to tell who is who. Like which one's Howard and. But honestly, I think this page is Howard.
I agree. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, so it's funny because Vampy sees something crawling or out of a grave, pretty much. They don't know They don't know nothing yet. They just
She had
see
like
something.
she had like the eagle eye, dude. She's like, nobody could see anything out here. She's like, I see something from far away. And that's
Right.
when she sees this Romeo and Juliet character up in the windowsill. And then
Right.
like next thing you know, she's like, oh my God, there's something going on over here in this graveyard.
Right.
And this is where we get into like, and like for give Flexman Lau his credit here, because
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the first time this phrase has been used in comic books or anywhere or not, but it is The Walking Dead. And this look where that thing went. Okay.
Right.
He's the one that named The Walking Dead here in his Vampirella issue. So I don't know if you noticed that, Jeff. If you thought about that, wait, what's this?
I thought about it. I'm wondering if
Kirkman.
Kirkman is a fan of these. So, and he read them when he was a kid or something. And maybe
that's where he got the name for that freaking title that blew up TV series and everything.
Maybe, maybe some of this, rubbed off on him and it actually stuck with him. He goes, what am I going to name this zombie, this zombie comic I'm going to do?
He's like, oh yeah, I remember I read this Vampirella book where they were called The Walking Dead.
We're just assuming that he may have read stuff like this, or
you would think he was into horror. I mean, he's a great horror writer, so maybe he got it from this. Right. I don't know, but that would be a great question to ask him. And that's like, that would make this thing a key right here. Be like, bam, The Walking Dead title came from this. And where we're gonna get into the story too is it's Walking Dead.
We don't want to throw that out there just yet. Whenever we get to interview Kirkman or
Robert Kirkman,
or one of our
he's lined up, man. We got them all lined up, all the creators, right?
Or one of our compatriots or one of our friends that are gonna interview him. If we watch him live interview him, I'm gonna ask that question in the chat and see if he'll answer it for us. So you never know. So this might, so guys, keep an eye out. This might become a key eventually. Well,
And if Kirkman says like, yeah, I got The Walking Dead from Vampirala number 51, dude,
yeah, that'd be
let's
nuts.
I'd be like,
That'd be
oh damn, we called that shit.
yeah,
We know
that'd
it.
be nuts. This book would be
Yep.
a lot more expensive than it is now. So I
It
thought it
gives
was fun. Yeah.
it gives Walking Dead vibes, dude. From here on out, we get Walking
Yeah.
Dead vibes.
Well,
So, zombies,
I mean Howard Chaykin, man. Honestly, he's known for doing horror type stuff. So I think all this part
Yeah.
of I think all this is Howard. I honestly think all this part is Howard. I think. I don't know what I can't tell which part it changed into. I think I can tell, but I'm not sure if he only did a couple panels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or unless they combine each other, and then then you really can't tell if they wrote both. Did a couple pages itself. But you know how the new ones go. The new one goes, hey, let's just say Howard did from
issue or page 1 through 6 or
right
3 through 5, because that's what they do with the Amanda Connor. Connor will do with Dynamite. I've been reading with the Harley Quinn X Elvira.
Yeah,
she'll do and it will say like that. She did page 1 and 2. And then the rest was done by this person. But we don't get that luxury in these ones. We get the chance. We get to debate and try to figure out what artist freaking did this panel.
Or like I did when I read it, try to go deep dive and try to pull up Howard stuff and Gonzalo's stuff and try to look to see. I'm like, I could tell some of Howard's stuff, but a lot of Howard's stuff is in color, so it was hard to see, to tell.
That make it a little bit harder.
Right. Because if I could find some of his panel work from black and white, it'd be a little easier to figure out which one is which. But I think actually you can tell. Actually, I think this part is Howard, and as soon as you change here, I think this is Gonzalo because it looks like almost Spanish style. You know what I mean?
I think that maybe the very top panel still may be Howard, but then below, I don't know, because Vampy looks. I love the look on her face up here on the top panel, but then again, like a with Pendragon and the zombie here. Do you think Mayo could draw Pendragon look like that? Because I think previous in the issue, I pretty much determined Howard drew Pendragon that looked kind of like that. So
right. So I'm thinking like maybe top half is Howard, maybe like, but you can tell there's a difference. You know what I mean? As soon as we go to flip it, you know what I mean? As soon as we flip, you can see the difference a little bit. So I'm wondering if this was if this side was Howard, and then like Howard only did a couple pages, like maybe the first couple pages, like this page, this page, this page, this page, and then it went to Gonzalo, because it looks like I think it jumped from Gonzalo and then him again, or maybe it's Gonzalo. Maybe I mean, it's hard to tell.
They did a pretty good job of mimicking each other. So it's really hard to tell. I think the middle part of this page right here is Gonzalo for sure.
Yeah, the middle feels like the Spanish style. The top panel feels like it's Howard's. You know what I mean?
But back to the story. But this is what I really love about the story. And this is why I maybe think it is Mayo right here, because in that middle panel here, it's like, bam, Vampirella is like, fuck, bleep this, dude. She takes off a head, dude, right here. What's going on? Like, about time let's Vampirella get that superhuman strength. Let her just go after somebody. And it's like, she's like, I think it's a little bit later on, because she finds out they have no blood in their veins, but like, because these are human corpses being dig up. Like, this kind of remind me of Michael Jackson's Thriller, the movie video of, this corpses digging themselves out of their coffin, up out of the freaking dirt. And then, but they want to eat people, and they're going to eat people until like there's nothing but their bones left. And like Vampirella's like, but these corpses are weak. It's time to attack. And she just takes that head off. And I'm like, yes, this is where we need to go with Vampy right here. Not the bat sucking, fangs as she's in her bat form, but let's go ahead and have her in vampire form. and
and
taking
fight.
down bad people. You know,
Yeah, and fight them.
take off and taking heads off, dude. It's
Because this is
crazy.
the first time Flexman has made her into a fighter. You remember every time
She's always a
Flexman,
damsel,
see, always a
right?
damsel.
Yeah.
So this is the first time Flexman actually freaking made her into a freaking yeah. So I thought it was funny because I'm like, dude, you always like to make her a freaking damsel, and this time you made her a freaking fighter.
Badass. Yes.
I'm like,
Badass, dude.
somebody must have said something to him. Go, hey, we're tired of you freaking making her a damsel. Make her fight
Yeah.
some stuff, man.
She
So
doesn't need this. She doesn't need to be saving. You know,
right,
she does the saving to other people.
right. I just thought it was funny that that this happens, and then we get the rich people coming pulling into town, not knowing nothing. The one percenters pull into town with their driver.
And I think as of now, we really don't know nothing because we still don't know
Right,
what's
right.
going on. Why are these corpses coming out? And so, like, what? That's when Vampirilla and she tells Pendragon's like, "Hey, there's too many. We need to go find shelter, pretty much."
Yeah, pretty much.
And
There's too many of
they take off. They
these
take off
guys.
running. Yeah, and that's
Take
when
off.
dude. I don't. It was a little confusing here.
Yeah, no,
They
you're not the only one, man. Because I read it like 3 times, and this part always confused the shit out of me. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell's going on?
did they get picked up by these rich people in this nice car, and then did they get take to another hotel? Then did they get led into the hotel?
No, they
But
got.
then
It looks like they got led into the hotel. It looks like they bumped into this Rolls Royce or whatever
yeah,
this vehicle was, because
yeah,
right here, right down here is where they encounter the driver. Yeah, see, right here is where they encounter it. That's what confused me, and then I reread it again.
that's
So it
so
looks
funny.
like the driver looks like there's a bunch of people over there. What's going? Like they were being nosy. What's going on? Like
But
in a
then
horror
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah, and then they watch him get eaten out of the window. They're like, what's going on with the
Well, pretty
chauffeur right
much
here?
they're
It's
one
like, so
percenters,
did they? How did they get? Like, where's this hotel? Where did they get dropped off at? I
right?
think they missed a little spot there, but
Yeah.
pretty much what happens is,
I,
you know,
well, that's what's famous for Flexman. You forget he likes to throw stuff on against the wall and see what
uh,
sticks. But that's what happens back then, man. It's like he
I
forgets
think we
about
got
this
a
stuff.
missing page here, man. Is what I think. We got
Yeah,
I got a missing page. Something happened here. We just
something.
warring with their money issues right now.
Yeah,
You know,
or
we can't pay for that page, so let's
or,
just throw not
or
print it.
Gonzalo lost the page.
Yeah, right.
One of the because
Yeah,
Howard was in New York
Howard
at the
was
time.
supposed to fucking draw that page, and Mayo's like, no, Howard. You know, they're both saying you were supposed to draw it. No, you
Right,
were.
right.
No, you were. No, you were. Oh, screw it.
Or somebody didn't write the damn
Yeah.
page, or somebody didn't write it, or Flexman didn't write nothing.
Because all of a sudden we got Vampy and Pendragon in a
Right,
hotel watching that chauffeur that maybe brought him there get
right,
eaten alive by these zombies. And
right,
what are these zombies? What are these Walking Dead and
right.
these rich people here in the hotel? Go ahead and let Vampy and Pendragon know, what's going on. What's going on with this town? Why
Pretty
is
much
it
tells them the whole
cursed?
story. Like pretty much tells them the whole story about the pretty much the hotel owners great 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 great
Yeah,
great great great
ancestor.
ancestor.
Yeah.
Some shenanigans happens during the French Revolution where they did some shenanigans, and some shenanigans happens, and so something with hang, something that rhymes with hang and man. But
Yeah, they pretty much, stack or just think of like Walem's witch trials, like or
yeah.
the Salem witch trials. Think of something like that back in the French Revolution time, and
Mhm.
they countered somebody, and they pretty much executed them, and then right before he got executed, he
Right here.
cursed the town. He
Yep.
cursed the freaking town, and the curse was, I thought it was a pretty good curse. What he did to the town. Do you want to tell him what the curse was, Jeff?
The curse was pretty much anybody that's in a grave will come alive every year during
Once
this
there.
once a year during my this the time I got
executed. Yeah,
executed.
yeah. So whatever that day was, every year, the anniversary of that day, whoever like from that day got buried into the graveyard, they will come alive and become the Walking Dead, and they will eat freaking anybody out there that's on the streets. And so that's why this is like the town that dreaded sundown on this day, is because that like once sun went down, it lasted for 24 hours. So it wasn't just sundown to sunrise. It was all the way till sunset the next day. So even during the day, everybody had to be locked up. And this town didn't want to like tell anybody about this curse, because the very next year after this execution, this neighbor, this normal guy was walking around, and the curse actually happened, where one of the persons that died that year,
I'll say another one of the Pendragon types, a drunkie.
is walking around, late at night, and then all they found was his bones, sucked dry, no meat on them. I thought that was kind of interesting.
This I can tell is Gonzalo. This page I can tell is Gonzalo because of the vampy face, because it looks similar to Jose's style. So yeah.
Oh, so I think. Yeah, Mayo for sure, dude. Yeah. This is Gonzalo. Yeah.
So I know these pages are probably, like I said, the front couple pages were probably Howard, and then these back pages were probably him. Like probably from like this page was probably Howard, and then from this page on was freaking Gonzalo. I'm assuming, because I would think paying somebody from Spain to get you pages is expensive. So maybe they had Howard do a couple pages, and then had Gonzalo do a couple pages.
Yeah, now that you bring him up, I can like really totally see the difference right here with this one. This is definitely Gonzalo Mayo right here for sure.
Right.
And like this is what I was talking about before, like the nothing but skeleton bones left on a human, because they just sucked all the meat and everything off of the body and left nothing but bones. And like this is when like Vampy's like, well, is there a way that we can stop this curse? Is the way that we can heal this town?
Pretty much. The hotel owner goes, yeah, there is. If you go to see that 1%er guy up in the chateau.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but dude, this is badass. Seeing her on a horse. I wouldn't mind seeing one of the cosplayers actually jump on a horse and actually take a picture like this. That would be kind of fun to see if they would.
I know. I was like, why is she on a horse? I'm like, okay, we're in France and in a countryside courtyard. I'm like, okay, I guess I see that. But I think the cosplayer is going to save that horse fucking action for Red Sonja. Really, what they're going to do. But that'd be kind of cool. Did you see they got another Red Sonja versus Vampy book coming out in August? So.
There's that one, and then there's the Witchblade one.
The only Witchblade cover I ordered today was a Lyrics Lee cover, but I don't know.
There's there's supposed to be a Witchblade and Vampy. They meet again because originally from the 90s they met, and then now I think it's either a continuation of that or maybe it's a whole nother story, but it's supposed to be something like that.
I haven't seen that yet. Maybe it's getting ready because I'm maybe it's 4 months away, but I know I've did all the pre-orders today and like kind of looked to see what's coming out, and I didn't see that one. And I don't think would it
be not out yet. It's not out yet. I saw it on Bleeding Cool or
one of the probably in the works.
Yeah, something's in the works. But I thought this was I thought her on a horse was interesting because normally she either turns into that's why I'm like, she could turn into a black. But if she's hungry, she won't be able to. So
that's where we don't know. Like if she doesn't have her blood substitute in her, like can she? I don't think she can perform. Like even the very first issue of the War magazine, she could turn invisible, but she didn't have her blood. She thought she was invisible, but she wasn't.
Right.
So like maybe she needs to have that nourishment to get full powers, get all of the full strength.
So we'll do it like the guy thing. She didn't have her Viagra, so or her spinach, so she couldn't perform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like
So
like Superman needs that sun, man, to get fully
yeah,
powered up, and she just didn't have it. And so
right,
then but then that's when she gets more crazy. And that's when I kind of thought about like when Vampirilla doesn't have her bloodlust and like
right,
she goes maybe like berserker like Wolverine does,
right,
or like when X-23, the tiger scent, and gets that tiger scent, and it's like and it just
right,
goes straight berserker. And like what Vampy does, she doesn't have her blood,
right,
she'll go straight up bloodlust, and that's when she gets super vengeance,
right,
ripping off throats, taking
right.
heads off left and right. So that's kind
Yep.
of what that's her superpower.
Yeah.
Blood.
If you guys have been here, you guys know that's happened once before when she was in New Orleans and some shenanigans happened in New Orleans. You guys are gonna have to watch that episode. That's a couple episodes back when we actually had B first on. So yeah, that's a couple episodes back. But yeah, I mean, I honestly like the horse. The horse makes it kind of interesting because she's actually doing something human, not riding a horse. I'm surprised she knows how to, but because you would think she would be used to turning into a bat, so
Yeah.
certain things she won't be able to do. But she probably had horses in Draculon anyway, so I'm assuming. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
but I thought it was funny. So she gets to the chateau, meets the one presenter dude, and goes, "Hey, can you lift this curse?" I can, but I'm not gonna because I don't like the poor people in the town or whatever. That's pretty much what he said.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, just like,
I just simplified it for everybody. I just simplified it for all of us to make it easy because the way he said it was a lot longer and a lot Frenchier.
yeah, a long way to say no. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
right.
And this he's like, I got my own like think of the purge, purge one night, everybody can go out and kill
Right.
whoever you want. And as
Right.
long as you have a good security system and a good lockdown fortress, who cares about everybody else because nobody's coming into your house at night. And that's
pretty
that's
much
his
he's
feel right
drinking
there.
he's drinking wine. He's like, I don't give a rat's ass about anybody. I don't give a
Yeah.
that's it. Pretty
I don't
much.
give a rat's ass right here. But
Yeah.
that's this. So, all right. So the story is going to keep prolonging on. But
Right.
when she leaves this mansion, this aristocrat, his son comes up. And this is where we get, introduced back to what Jay was talking about. Jeff was talking about earlier about the Romeo character, right?
Yeah. Yep. So he's the Romeo character that we need to save the town, pretty much. So he's pretty much the aristocrat's son. He goes, yeah, I fell in love with one of the poor people down there, and come to find out, it's actual Juliet, or actually the daughter of the innkeeper. So it's kind of funny. I'm like, oh, so this is gonna come in handy. So Vampy goes, oh, this is gonna come in handy. So they both ride to town, pretty much, go see everybody back in town. Pretty much, guy in the hotel comes out, or the owner of the hotel comes out, goes, oh my goodness, Juliet ran off. Don't know where she's at. So pretty much, she's a brave chick for running out and for knowing there's these Walking Dead people out here, and love this dude so much, wanted to go see the guy, and takes the backwoods to go, and where pretty much straight through the freaking cemetery, pretty much.
Yeah, see, that's why he was clarified it for me too, because it was a little bit confusing. I'm reading it even 2 times. So they make it back to the hotel, and the hotel's like, dude, like my daughter went looking for you, and like, oh well.
I read it 4 times.
Okay,
it took the 4th time to clarify it.
Realize what's going on. So like, so then they leave the hotel and they go through a back way that was a shortcut way, which was through the graveyard. She not knowing this was the night of the dead, the night of the Walking Dead, pretty much. And so can Vampy and Romeo find old Juliet in the amongst the Walking Dead? We have to see.
So pretty much this is so pretty much this top panel, pretty much Romeo is going, hey, I see her, she's up there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, she's up there, and then pretty much, so she hasn't bitten anybody yet, so she can turn into a bat. But what I thought after this, when I saw her turn into a bat, I'm going, probably can turn into a bat short distance wise. Probably where the chateau was, she couldn't do it long distance because she would have had to turn back into a human and start walking. So if you were on a horse and going through some Walking Dead stuff, I would rather be on a horse than trying to turn back into turn it back into a human and try to walk the thing. But she's vampy anyway. She could have if she wanted to. But I just thought it was interesting. But like you said, bit the living dead people, goes, hey, it's pretty much dust. They got nothing. So she pretty much couldn't stay bat form for long. Turns back into vampy herself and had to fight them off pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Like this is pretty much the last panel here, fighting them off and whatever else. And then these two kiss, the Romeo and Juliet kiss, and something happens with the Walking Dead. The Walking Dead start picking up their heads and their body parts and start scurrying back into their little homes.
Pretty much what happens. What's the press dog said?
Yeah. So that's probably what you.
August 26th is what you're saying. They're going to do Image does Witchblade Vampirala on August 26th, and Dynamite does Vampirala Witchblade in
September.
Yeah, so it's gonna be for next. It's gonna be next month's preview. Yeah, next month's FLC.
Yep. So hey, I'm glad I gave you a heads up, so you at least can spot it.
I don't think it would pass me by, but I always look for it. But yeah, this is the crazy story here at the ending because like they're watching. So Vampy goes bloodlust crazy. There's no freaking blood, nothing but dust in these veins. She gets super pissed. Goes super vengeance Vampirala, takes them all down, taking heads off, taking limbs off.
Like I said, this is the first time that Flexman actually made her into a fighter because Flexman, every time Flexman does her, either Pendragon has to come and freaking grab her, or either Adam, somebody has to come save her. So I'm glad that it's like this gives you the feel that Vampirala, like, no, you don't want to bleep, like you don't want to mess with, because like she will just like, no, you can't put her in chains in some sort of dungeon. She'll just break out of these chains in these ones. In old time, no, it's like, oh no, she can't even, she needs help. This one, no, she's like, no blood. I'm gonna go all out, ripping limbs out, and that's what she does. And then like the people in the town are looking out the window, like, I don't understand. We got 6 hours left before this whole night is over. The night of the Walking Dead is over, but they're already going back to their graves and burying themselves back in their graves with their decapitated heads, their missing limbs, folded over their shoulders, holding a damn beamer because it got cut off because Vampirala just vengeance all of them. But they have 6 hours left. No, the curse is over because the love between our Romeo and Juliet character, that was enough to like take care of the curse. What would they say, like make the curse not exist no more? Because it's two of the same bloodline, because it's the original guy's bloodline, and then it's the, because that's what trust me, it took me 4 times to figure it out, but because the whole reason the curse cut was because both of these guys are from the original cursed bloodline. Okay. So the one was the guy that actually did the deed. The other one is the actual guy that got the deed done too. Okay. So that's why it worked.
Full circle, man. A little hard to get to that, but that's what the story was, and that even makes it better. I like it. I like it a lot more now.
Right, because like I said, it took me freaking 4 times, man. It took me 4. I'm like, because first time when I read it, I'm like, this is gonna confuse me. This part's gonna confuse me. I even said it. I'm like, these parts are gonna confuse these guys. And I'm like, let me just read it a couple of times. It takes a couple of times. Sometimes these old books take a couple of times to read it. Then you figure it out finally. But it takes a couple of times.
That's why I was trying to like get up early in the morning where there's nobody, everyone's still asleep.
Right.
Let me go read this because I can like no distractions at all.
Right.
And but but they're not even that complicated. But sometimes,
Right.
like maybe like even with this story,
The
it
word,
shows
the word,
it's
the
super
thing
depth.
that
It's
drives
got a
me
lot of
nuts
depth.
is it's the wording part of it drives me crazy. It's
Yeah.
like I'm like I understand what's going on, but sometimes when the words don't, I'm like, damn, it's freaking confusing. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then yeah, you read it a couple times, but you figure it out finally. They kind of it connects the dots finally. I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense now. Yeah, so thought that was kind of cool, but yeah, so this was fun. This little issue was fun. We got Flexman, but we get somebody we'll get our normal guy back next week. We get Bill Dubé back next week.
Oh, the Bay. All
Yeah,
right.
we get
Yeah.
Dubé back. We get Dubé back next week, but I'll send you that issue after we get done. But it is issue 52.
52.
So 52. So this is issue 52. I'll give you guys a little sneaky peeky. Yeah, little sneaky peek. So you know how much it pissed him off that he
I
had
hit
it in
it
the next issue
twice.
too. Yeah. So he had it in the next issue. Yep. So we get a Flexman Low, or we get a
Well,
Bill
Bill
Dubé.
DeBay,
Yeah, and
Gonzalo.
yeah, Gonzalo May. I think it's either Gonzalo Mayo or one of the other
Oh, it
Spanish
says Mayo. It's Mayo on
Mayo.
the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. You can see it better than I can. I got something right on top of it, so I can't really see the name.
I imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can see it a
So,
lot bigger. But yeah, this is freaking cool castle right here. I like
right.
this, man. It's got some intriguing.
Right. So it's gonna be fun. This issue is gonna be fun. Pretty much Frankenstein-esque again, kind of. It felt like that's what it felt like when I skimmed it real quick beforehand. I always do. I always skim like an issue ahead, so to see what's going on, to get entice you guys to come watch us talk about it. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun next week. But let's get into what we thought of the cover, what we thought of pickup ability wise. I think pickup ability wise is pretty high for me. It's a 9 for me for pickup ability wise because it's a one and done. You don't need to really know who Vampy is, anyways. It's just just a cool, horror story, pretty much.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's a good horror story. It ties all around together.
Right,
One nice story, easy 9 out of 10 pickup.
right.
Sure.
9 out of 10. What about like art style wise? I mean, it's gonna be hard to grade it because it's two different freaking artists. So I mean, the first half of it, I'll give it a good solid 8. You know what I mean? It's actually decent. I'll give the first couple panels a good solid 8. Back. What about the what we think is Gonzalo? We don't know for sure who and what where, but what do we think of some of the other panels?
Little bit off, a little bit good here and there. I mean,
Right.
what they did, I guess was good. And I give it a 7 overall.
Right. So I'll agree with you. 7. 7's good. But like the front half, like it's kind of funny because the front half is a little better than the back half. You know what I mean? It's like kind of funny. The
There's
front.
some panels on the back half that look like only like little pictures, like look
Right, right.
really good compared to some of the others. So yeah,
Right, right.
it's not bad though. I mean, we're talking
It's
magazine, black and white.
right. So a 7's not too bad, guys. So we give it a 7. We give it a solid 8 in reading wise. You know what I mean? So you agree with that one? 8 or 9 ish?
For reading, no, I think we're about like on a 9 for pickup ability, 9 reading. It's around 8 or 9. It's a good
Right.
story.
Yeah.
And like it's a story that like it said Jeff, he read it like 4 times. I read it like 2-3 times.
Right.
To find these little nuances, little hints of what's going on in the
Right.
story, like that. It's not convoluted at all. And like what I like
that's
about
what,
it,
that's what
yeah.
Flexman likes, because the issue with Flexman was that he liked to convolute stuff. You remember when we first started reading him, where he would just, like you said, throw fucking spaghetti to the wall. What sticks?
Yeah.
This time he had one mindset and one thing only. One, Romeo and Juliet type story, where freaking dead people.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like we actually had a story from beginning to end, and we had little convoluted stuff, lines here and there, but really small to pick up.
Right.
And once you can like read it a couple times, you understand it, and that's where we understood
Right.
that the innkeeper, daughter was the one that was, you know, in love with this other dude that was from the
Right.
richer side of town. Like,
Right.
so yeah, I mean, it's a story that we probably, heard 100 times before,
Right.
but the way that he was able to put his spin with Vampirella in it and not like drag it out there's one little mishit, like, I mean,
Yeah.
how did
We get
one little like tiny nitpick there, in the middle there, like
right
how
here.
did they get from the chauffeur car, the Rolls Royce to the
Yeah.
to the freaking
In.
the inn, but overall it was good, it was fun, and that's what's cool about these magazines. It's like
Right.
you don't have to, we like it when you have to get issue to issue to issue, where we
Right.
get a bunch of cliffhangers.
Right.
But when you get a good one shot like this one, it's
Right.
it's
I
definitely
mean,
great
it's
for
one.
pickup
If you
building.
want to read some strong Flexman story, I would recommend this one instead of his what was it? Carnival of the Dead. Carnival of
Yeah,
the
the
Dead is a
Royale or whatever. Yeah,
yeah. The
something like that.
Royal. Yeah. So yeah, so that one's a little weak, but if you want a strong Flexman one, this is one of his stronger ones. The other ones, not so much. The other ones, like you said, convoluted type stuff, or it's either
Throw against the
either
wall. Yeah,
yeah,
like we said.
either he's throwing meatballs or spaghetti or whatever he can against the wall to see what sticks. So, but this is one of his stronger ones. So I recommend if you want to read something good from Flexman, Rise of the Undead is pretty decent.
It's a Walking Dead story,
Right.
man. Walking freaking Dead.
What's going on, Sleepy
Yo,
Rita?
yo.
So you weren't here in the beginning, but so I'm gonna tell you because you're the one that asked me the question why they flipped everything around. So why this did this and this happened was because the editors said of the lettering is why they mirrored her on the other side was to flip it because of all the lettering and all that other stuff. And then they changed some other stuff. All the stuff I circled is why the reason why they flipped her around. So yeah. And then I found it on Heritage. I found the actual painting on Heritage, and it sold for $1,200. 12, 12
I'll buy it for 1,300 right here. Send it
Yeah.
my way. Well, 12 grand, y'all.
Yeah,
12,000.
$12,547.50. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's why they mirrored her. That's why they flipped her around. Yep. So that's why they flipped her around. The whole reason they flipped her around, and then the whole reason they flipped the the genie thing and the pot was because the genie thing was it's supposed to be where she was. So I mean, honestly, they wouldn't have to. They could have kept it, either end, but I think because it looks like she's coming out of the genie bottle. That's probably what it was. That's where she was supposed to be coming out of, I think. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's why. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. And then we got next week 52, and we'll have Dell back for 52. And I found some cool information on this one. So stay tuned for that. So it's gonna be fun to always explain stuff to you guys. I always love doing that, and I know B's all been loving hanging out with us and shooting the shit with these stories. And I just like seeing how excited he gets about reading it. Or sometimes he'll message and goes, "Holy crap!" Yeah. So
I do. I love reading these stories because it's brand new to me, and it's
Right.
it's like, let's see where she can go, because we know where she's at right now. So it's like
Right.
filling in the gaps. So it's fun, man. So
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all watching us here live and on the rewind.
Right.
For show.
Yeah, and then if you guys want to go to B's channel, it's in the description below. Dell's stuff is in the description below. And then I actually did an interview this week on Namen's channel, or Comic Bookworm's channel, of Pacific Islander month. So You guys can check that out. It's actually on the channel. If you guys want to check that out, you guys can check that out. We talk about a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? About, the vintage comics that we've been talking about. But like I bring up Vampy Book Club. I show some stuff off. And then we'll be back next week with Dell. And I know do you got your what is it? The sexiest covers of the week? Like all
it's gonna be the hottest and horror covers of this week. So every the hot covers, and my new segment too is horror books that come out this week. We're gonna be talking about those ones as well.
You said horror, not horror books, okay?
Horror. Wednesday. It's gonna be 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time. BBB Haunted Comics. Come chat to me live. Interactive show. We always have a good time.
Right.
We go an hour.
The easiest part is to go in the description below. All of B's information is down in the description. Or if you've been with us since the beginning, you should already be following B. Or you came from B's channel. So I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's been watching. You guys know how this works. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend about this. And we'll see you guys next week. And have a good night, guys.